What's going on, you crazy bastards? You're back here with Rob Kimball for an Impact Wrestling review. We start off the show with Kenny King, Sherlock Homeboy, searching for Samoa Joe backstage, and we also had Bobby Lashley looking for Samoa Joe. But they didn't need to be searching because Samoa Joe right off the bat comes out to the ring and calls out MVP. Well, MVP comes out with Money, Power, Respect, and Kenny King, once they hit the ring, starts running his fucking mouth, and Samoa Joe tells MVP, this guy here should be kissing my ass. And then he tells MVP, you're a scumbag liar, and you were supposed to be here for this and that, to end the tyranny and all that shit, and that's bullshit of the way that you came in. So then Austin Aries' music ends up hitting because Samoa Joe, he's ready to take on all three guys of Money, Power, Respect. Says, I want a match right now. I'm going to take on all three of you guys. He's ready to fucking rock and take over. Well, Austin Aries comes out, and so we get a little backup for Samoa Joe, which is a good thing. But MVP ends up, in the end here, booking the two against each other. And this seems to be the way that MVP is going to handle shit. If he has a problem with more than one person, book them into a match, let them tear each other apart, and then he has nothing to worry about. He could just do whatever the fuck he wants. So I guess that's the way he's going to roll. So we move on to Bram and Magnus in the locker room talking about the Willow match that he has coming up. And Bram, he's looking confident. He's ready to rock. And Magnus is trying to warn him the unpredictability of Willow. When he lost the championship match against Magnus when he was Jeff Hardy, and he became Willow because he just infuriated with that whole thing. And then Bram was just saying, that's the Magnus when you were champion. That's the Magnus we want back. The Magnus that would still be champion if he acted that way back then. Or now, as he did back then. So, Magnus, you have this little thing going on between the two, and it looks like we're going to have a fucking pretty cool feud between the two guys that were once longtime friends. So, we get the match. Bram and Willow. Willow is running this fucking match pretty much the entire time. You had a little offense out of Bram where he gets that fucking crazy aspect that he has, which I really like that. It's something different to TNA, so it's awesome. And until Jeff Hardy goes to chop the fucking elbow off in the ring, outside of the ring, and hits the steel steps after Bram rolls out. Bram goes to grab that fucking pry bar, and Magnus runs right in between the two, so Bram doesn't hit Willow with this fucking device. So he's cutting him off. Looks like he's trying to help out Willow. He snags the fucking pry bar and just goes ballistic on Willow. So it looks like Bram is a happy man and Magnus is back to his roots that I guess he used to be. And we have the Wolves backstage sitting in MVP's office, that is, with flip-flops on, laid back, relaxed with their belts. And well, MVP, he's looking a little pissed about this, and here we go again. Books the two against each other. Says, fuck it, you guys are having a match against each other, and if you're not going to do it, I'm stripping you from your fucking titles. Simple as that. So we're going to get this match between the Wolves. And another backstage segment with Mr. Anderson. All dressed up like a cowboy. I mean, chaps and all. And he's got beer. He likes beer. And he's just fucking trying to play the goddamn James Storm gimmick here. And then we move on to the Wolves versus each other. Davey Richards, Eddie Edwards. Really cool match, you know, with their back and forth. It's like a sparring deal here. And they're not trying to fucking hurt each other here. And it's a really good match. And then Kenny King comes out to the ramp. He's trying to coach them into what they need to do while they're having their match. Pretty fucking annoying. And then finally, in the end here, we get a Eddie Edwards picks up the victory over Davey Richards, obviously injured here. His ribs are fucking killing him, and I guess something with his liver. And so anyway, he gets the victory. Kenny King does not accept this, and he comes in. He says, any other time you guys are kicking and punching, you guys didn't kick or punch each other, you guys are going to lose your fucking titles. And he goes, fine, say bye-bye. Well, anyway, the Wolves attack Kenny King, kick his ass, he goes a-running. So that's that, and that's exactly what should have happened. Then we have MVP and Dixie backstage, and she tells him, what are you doing with Austin Aries, Samoa Joe in a contract versus contract match? You don't know what the fuck, you're like, seriously, don't. And MVP just doesn't give a fuck. He thinks he knows what the hell he's doing, what's going on. So we'll find out what happens later on. And we got the bromance backstage. Robbie E's just a fucking itching. Stop itching, bro. Scared of fucking clowns. The menagerie is just under his, obviously, skin. And a pretty cool segment, though. They all interact very fucking well together. If you're not a fan of bromance, it's perfectly fine. But if you can't say that they don't work well together, then you're wrong. Because they fucking play the part perfect. So, pretty cool shit. I enjoyed it. Although I'm not that big of a fan of the bromance, they play this fucking role awesome. And then we have MVP talking to Brian Hebner, and he, between Samoa Joe and Austin Aries, he wants a fucking clear-cut winner. There's no fucking countouts. There's none of this shit. You just get a fucking winner and a loser. One guy's going home, losing his contract with TNA. And Brian Hebner, he's got a family to feed, so he's going to do what he has to do. And then we got Samoa Joe and Austin Aries backstage. Same thing, man. They're like, you know what? I've got a family too, so I'm coming at you. We're going to have this match, and so does Samoa Joe. Like, it's back and forth, man. They're going to do what they have to do to keep their fucking job. That's the way it goes. Then we have bromance in the ring. Robbie E's still just a fucking scratching, and DJ Z and Jesse, they're cool. They're just having fun, and Robbie's so scared of fucking clowns. And guess what? The menagerie comes out. Scares the shit out of him with the clowns, and actually, they ended up kicking them all out of the ring. You got Freak lifting up DJ Z, holding them all fucking 90 seconds, pressing them in between, and chucks them outside of the ring, and Jesse goes flying outside of the ring. Robbie E's outside of the ring, and they're all, well, Robbie E's the one scared because the fucking clown there. And decent segment, and Nux is saying, and I'm the fucking most sane one here, you know, out of all of them. So it's okay, the menagerie, it's fine, but I don't like when they have matches. I just don't like their music playing the whole match. What do you guys think? Should they have their fucking music playing the whole match? No! 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 Don't do that. Fuck! Then we got EY and Bully backstage trying to convince Brian Hebner to do the right fucking thing. These guys have families they need to provide for. Don't fuck them over just because MVP is telling you what to do. But he freaks out, and he's going to do what he has to do because he has a fucking family, too, to take care of. Then we have Gunner and Samuel at the Funny Farm playing Goldfish. Well, I guess Samuel, while being there, has learned how to see the future or what the fuck, because he knows exactly what cards he has and what cards Gunner has. Okay, moving on. Austin Aries versus Samoa Joe. And, well, anyway, during this match, Austin Aries bounces outside of the ring. Fucking Brian Hebner's count super fast. He gets back in, but he's like, what the fuck is this? You know, basically. And it looks like Brian Hebner's just trying to get a goddamn winner and a loser and get the fuck out of there. So, we end up having a decent match here, but we get to Austin Aries slams in, he gets the last chancery in, but Eric Young comes running down, yanks fucking Hebner out, and he's just telling him, no, you can't do this. These guys, they need to be here. They got to provide for the families. And then he lets him go, gets back in there, And Samoa Joe locks in the coquina clutch. Same thing. Yanks him back out. EY's like, no, no, no. Bully comes down the ring and he's like, listen, fucking, boom! Knocks him out. He's like, sorry, man. Sorry. So we get the end of that match. Knocks him out. He's sorry. And I like this. It is a pretty goddamn cool thing. MVP comes out. He's threatening to fire everybody. And Bully comes up with a goddamn good match. He's like, I got me, EY, Austin Aries, and Samoa Joe against you pieces of crap and EC3. So MVP's like, fuck no. Kenny King starts running his fucking mouth. We get this match all set up. Awesome. In a fucking first blood match after EY says, let's do that. Pretty cool. Awesome. James Storm's fucking original music hits. Boom. And we're like, whoa, what happened? Got Mr. Anderson coming out in his goddamn cowboy getup and some beer, spilling beer everywhere. I like beer. Yeah, I do too. And he comes out and he's just making fucking some comedy shit going on. But we get James Storm's new music hits and he's standing at the top of the ramp and he's like, you're just a goddamn comedian here. And Mr. Anderson tries to get confirmation from the crowd. That was funny, huh? And James Storm's like, you didn't even consume playing in a goddamn alcoholic game, this and that. Well, James Storm comes down and whoops his ass. And he sets the match for Slammiversary between the two. We're going to get that. Should be a pretty good match. June 15th, Father's Day, Slammiversary. Mr. Anderson versus the Cowboy, James Storm. Pretty cool shit. Comment below if you're looking forward to this. I think it'll be a pretty good match. It was nice to see the Cowboy slam that fucking last call super kick to Mr. Anderson. We'll find out what happens here at Slammiversary. And we're back with Gunner. He brings Samuel his sketchbook and he asks him, can I look at this? I asked if I could. And Samuel ends up saying, well, he looks a little worked up about this. And eventually he says, okay. Then we got Madison Rayne versus Angelina Love for the Knockouts title with the rematch clause here. And previously, we had Madison Rayne tell Brittany, don't do nothing. Don't come out. Don't do nothing tonight. Leave me alone, basically. Well, in this match, she ends up coming out. And Velvet Sky ends up spraying Madison Rayne while Stifler, obviously, is distracted. Sprays her in the face with some hairspray or whatever the fuck it was. And Brittany just stands by. And we get a roll-up pin from Angelina Love. So she retains. We lose the rematch clause there, so that's no longer existent. And later on backstage, Madison Rayne confronts Brittany. What the fuck were you doing out there? She says, I did exactly what you told me to do. Nothing. Feud coming. And then we move on. EC3, Bobby Lashley, Kenny King, MVP versus EY, Bully, Aries, and Samoa Joe in a first blood match. Pretty goddamn good match right off the bat. Fucking Austin Aries slams in the last chancery on Kenny King. I mean, we get some good back and forth on everybody. And then finally we get what we want to see. Bully Ray, EC3 in the middle of the ring, ready to go. EC3 actually choke slams Bully. Bully gets up, grabs his fucking chain, and he locks that fucker around his fist. Doof! EC3, gashing blood. And so we get the victory. They all stand tall. And backstage, Money, Power, Respect wasn't fucking feeling this. And they start to lay down a beatdown on fucking EC3. Ethan Carter III. And Dixie Carter comes running in, freaking the fuck out. That's the same blood that's running through my veins. I'm a Carter. We own this company. This is bullshit. And you're gonna bleed if that's the way it's gonna roll. So this is what's going to happen. Like the Carters are going to come down hard on Money, Power, Respect. But how? Like Dixie, she's not a wrestler. You only have Ethan Carter. So who's going to back them to take down Money, Power, Respect? What do you guys think? Comment below. What is she going to rally together? And if she does rally together something crazy and does take out Money, Power, Respect, will she finally get off TV? Comment below. Let me know. I like all of your guys' comments. I enjoy replying to all of you because that's what I do. And I just coming up with crazy stories. And who knows? Fucking Slammiversary is going to happen here very soon. So let's get very interactive about this one. All right, guys? Until then, follow me on Twitter at Rob Kimball Brands. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace.